Video number 13. How to set up your Zerg for a fight. So at this point, you already know what battle mounts do. You already know how to make bodies. You already know the Zerg compositions. You already know pretty much all the basics. So now I'm gonna teach you to make a good Zerg depending on what type of situation you are facing on and how many people you have. Okay? So let's be quick and take a look at it. So let's make some situations here for making things more real. Okay? So let's say you are defending a territory. There's a guild who launched your territory and you're defending it. And you're gonna have the defensive position from the territory. The first thing you gotta do is mass earlier, leave the city earlier than your enemy. So that's gonna guarantee you the defensive position inside the territory. Facts. Second thing is you need to know what type of situation you're gonna be facing. For example, if you're defending a normal territory fight, you know there's only two entries you gotta go. So your enemy either gonna siege you by the west side or by the east side. There's nothing more to siege. So if you, for example, if you have 80 guys holding a turret like this, you easily can have up to 10 battle mounts right here. But Africa, isn't 10 too much? No, because on situations like this, you can pretty much spam behemoths. So let's say you can have like 6 behemoths in the west and like, I don't know, 2 behemoths on the east, and just put other battle mounts around, because the behemoth's gonna CC and gonna make the life from the whoever wants to try to get inside the chariot like a pain in the ass. So defending territories, it's always good to have more barrel mounts. For example, eagles, behemoths, even beetles. So when the enemy try getting to the church, they will never reach the center, because the battle mount's always gonna stop them, and when they get out of position, you smash them in the face. Second thing, bomb squads are amazing for defend terrorists. Having 1 or 2 small bomb squad of like 6 or 7 people, hitting them by the walls right here or by the walls right here, it's amazing, because they're gonna get the enemy, CC it, silenced by the battle mounts, and just murder them in the front line. Or the thing, camps like Brawl Camp are not good for terrorists. I'm gonna tell you why. Because Brawl Camp, what is consistent, it's basically you go inside the enemy, spread, focus the healers, and clump and dump them one by one inside. When you're holding inside a cherry and your enemy is all clumped right here, if you try get inside them, they're just gonna kill you one by one. Just gonna one shot you actually. So that's not good. The best composition you wanna have when you're defending a cherry, it's always to have the one shot, the pressure that you hit them on the front line and come back. Or if you want to go into a broken position, instead of holding inside the cherry, you hit them, get a good club, then push the fight outside the cherry and fight them outside. There you murder them. But you never want to run a broken position and hold inside the cherry, because you're never going to be able to get inside the enemy, and you won't going to be using it effective enough for have use from the Hellion jackets and etc. Okay? But now, let's say you are sieging a territory. Let's say you're sieging a territory. Your enemy is holding inside. And you are outside. And you are outside, and you need to hit them by the doors. First thing is, if you're sieging a two-way terrace like this, you never want to go to the east side. The east side is pretty much a trap. Unless you have, I don't know, twice the numbers from the enemy, and you can send half from the east and half from the west. Then you push by both sides. But besides it, you always want to you always gonna wanna go by the west side, because the east side is super clumped by the people when they hit by top of the cherry, by the tower. It's pretty much a death choke. You never wanna be there. Anyway, what type of composition you wanna go when you're trying to get inside a tower like this? Basically, first thing you need to do ballistas. Why? Because the enemy gonna have behemoths, so you need the ballistas to demount them. And if you have a big brawl composition, it all that matters is when you get on the south from the Terry. Because when you get right here, my friend, and the enemy is trapped in the tower, you just full send them and they just die. Simple as this. Let me show you some example. I actually have a video from it that we did it on Brawl Comp inside a cherry, siege in a cherry, that we actually wiped the enemy in like 3 engages. Give me, hold on. Okay, it's that one. Look. When you have the Brawl Comp, you get inside a cherry. You get inside a cherry. You blow the first full clamp on the front line, you delete the front, and you spread on the south. And you have all the battle mounts on top of them in the north, and you just wait for the right time. You wait. You wait. And then when they clump in the tower, you just full send them. And they die. Simple as this. So, when you siege in a Terry, it's good to have ballistas, for the enemy don't have that many battle mounts, and a lot of defensive tanks. Because when you have a lot of defensive tanks, you're gonna be able to stop their engages. And then you just move your way inside, like slowly, and you get to the south, you just murder them inside. And then they just die. So that's it. But let's change situations a little bit. Let's say you are on a castle siege. On a castle siege, it's really different. Because on a castle siege, you pretty much never want to have a brawl camp. Because all the enemies gonna hit you by the walls. So in a castle siege situation, your best friend, it's always gonna be eagles and behemoths. So you always wanna have one behemoth on each door and one eagle assisting the behemoth on each door. 2 from each, and also 2 chariots. So like 6 battle mounts. You also wanna have, for example, great arcanes. Because, for example, if the enemy has one bomb squad and they always hitting by the tower like this or like that, you can have one guy right here, and every time the bomb squad hit, he stop him, great arcane. Or one guy right here, every time they hit, you stop them. This also works on the opposite side. So let's say you are hitting the doors from outside like this, and you have one guy right here for Great Arcane, one guy right here for Great Arcane, and every time the enemy bomb squads try to play on the towers like this or like this, they get stopped by the GA. Get stopped by the GA. Every time the enemy Zerg try to hit by the door, Behemoth and Eagle. Stop it, stop it. So, and also, you don't want to have full melee composition when we siege in a castle, because there's always going to be doors protecting the enemy, either by outside or by inside. So when you siege in a castle, you want to have more ranged composition, things that can hit by the wall. Also, on castles, either when you attacking or you defending, bomb squads are super important thing, because bomb squad is what kill the most on the castles, because when you are defending in a castle, the only thing who is between you and your life, it's the doors. If the attacker's forces break the two doors right here, and they get into a position that they can siege you, you are dead. So you basically want to have the bomb squad killing as many enemies they can before they get right here, because otherwise they're just gonna die. So for a castle composition, you want to always have 2 behemoths, 2 eagles for stop great arcanes, 2 great arcanes, 1 on each tower for stop the enemy. And also you want to kill them as much you can before they break the doors, so you're gonna help you to hold the defensive position. Otherwise, if you're attacking, you don't want to expose yourself that much. You pretty much want to put 1 or 2 tanks hammering the door on clericals, 1 GA protecting yourself against the bomb squad, and slow make your way win. Break this first door, move all your Zerg around, break the second door. After you do it, hold outside the castle, break the first door outside the castle, have some guys to stop the enemies by the tower. Then after you do it, go all the way around, and then when you finish the doors, you just pause deep, go in and finish the enemy. Understand? So basically the core, it's gonna be the same. So doesn't matter in what fight you're going, you're gonna have 4 tanks, you're gonna have 4 healers, you're gonna have 4 supports, you're gonna have 2 battle mounts, and you're gonna have 6 DPSs. But the thing is, instead of you having 2 locuses, you're gonna have 1 locus and 1 GA, Grey Arcane, for the supports. Instead of having like beetles, you're gonna have chariots and eagles and behemoths on the battle mounts. Instead of having 100 maces right here, instead of having grove keepers, for example, you're gonna have icicles. You're gonna have even grail seekers, things that go over the walls, and you're just gonna adapt according to the situation you're gonna face. Understand? Or for example, you're facing a situation full open world with no chokes. So let's say you're fighting on this map, which is there's pretty much no chokes. There's no chokes you can go. You don't want to have a clap composition on this map because there's basically no chokes. There's a small one right here, or like a small one right here, which is easily to break through. Otherwise it's full brawl. So you want to have a more melee composition on those type of maps, so you can just live inside your enemy and just kill them all one by one. So a good caller knows what he gonna get, and always gonna adapt his composition by what he gonna face. For example, if he's facing a guild defending a cherry, he's gonna have more ballistas, he's gonna have more bomb squad, he's gonna have GAs. If he's sieging a castle, he's gonna have tanks with clericals hammering slowly. He's gonna have GAs protecting his Zerg. If he's fighting pure open world against multiple tanks, he wanna have a full brawl composition that he can just steamroll into your enemy and don't let the other sides hit. If he's facing, for example, a really good brawl composition, he wanna have as many defensive tanks he wants to stop them to get inside your Zerg. So basically, how it goes by what type of situation you're facing and what enemy you're also facing. And then that's the job from the caller, study and learn for be ready for all the type of different styles. I hope you guys enjoyed. See you in the next one.